Hello, welcome back. Some things have changed. I picked up a truckload of compost. I spread it. I also added some wood to my front beds. So let's go on a tour. So this is the front garden area, and as you can see, I have supplemented with compost. Before I could actually put the compost down, I had to go in and add a layer of 2x4s or whatever wood that I had in my garage, just to make sure that I had enough space to accommodate the compost. I had just done kind of like a hybrid between the raised garden bed gardening and then just in-ground gardening. I framed off with 2x4s 3 areas out here, and I added topsoil. I did till a little bit first before I added the topsoil, and that's how I grew my garden last year. So it's kind of still a hybrid. Like I said, just added the wood that I had left over in my garage. This bed was lucky enough to get 2x4s all the way around, but you'll see in a minute, not all of the beds got the same treatment. So in reusing scrap wood, I did not have 2x4s to complete this bed. So I had 2x4s on 3 sides and then 2x2s on 1 side. And this is on a slope. So I put the 2x4 on the downward side and the 2x2 on the upward side, and this will be the pepper bed when it's warm enough. This bed I would consider the most level. It does have a slight incline away from the house, which I don't mind. It helps take water away from, if this were to get overfilled, it won't go towards the house, it'll go away from the house. So that's all right. But if you notice, there's 2 2x4s on the end and then 2x2s that are just kind of pieced together. They were different lengths and already cut, but it is what it is when you're trying to reuse and repurpose things for gardening. Sometimes you just have to use what you got. So that's what I did, and I already had the compost picked up. It was just a matter of making sure there was space in the beds and then spreading it, and this was the easiest way to accomplish that. Just add the scrap wood that I had. And this 2x4 here is a different color completely because it came from inside the house before we moved in. I think it might have been part of the kitchen cabinets, the old kitchen cabinets before they redid the kitchen. Also, I chose to put the smaller pieces of wood here because this is the tomato bed, and I tend to utilize methods that I plant tomatoes very deeply. So there didn't need to be as much compost in this bed. There just needed to be enough at the top to provide nutrients. To finish up the compost tour, this is my back bed. It's in complete shade right now, as you can tell. As the days get longer, there is more sun back here, so it does get a full 6 to 8 hours. You can tell where the dirt was and where the compost is. I did move the trellises, so I had that pumpkin over there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Oh, it looks like it's lichen life right now. That pumpkin was inside the trellis, but I moved the trellis, so now it's outside the trellis. And then right there is a yellow squash. So I didn't pull anything. Those both survived the frosty nights that we had a couple weeks ago. So I didn't have the heart to tear them out now. So they're just gonna go where they're at. So something else I've been contemplating lately is obtaining some buckets and doing some rainwater collection. That might be the next step for my garden journey, is to be able to utilize rainwater instead of city water that has chlorine. Maybe I'll do it this summer. Maybe I'll do it next spring. We'll see. If you're interested in seeing that, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to notate your comment. Also, there's a community garden nearby, so I stopped by to see what they planted already. So let's go to that clip. Right off the bat, I have no idea what this is. Onion. So these sticks are marked that say onion. I thought, I don't know, is that dill? I don't know what dill looks like. I've never grown dill. Garlic chives, onion, lettuce, and I don't know how many of these were from years past. But yeah, there's already stuff growing in here and I'm so excited. This looks intentional. I don't know what it is. Over here, it says fava beans, but I think these are brassicas. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an official botanist either. So I'm really not sure how much of this. Yeah, look, cauli. So this is cauliflower. So the fava beans, I don't know if this is a fava bean. Somebody help me out. Is this a fava bean? I'm assuming this is a grass weed. Huh? Hopefully it was a grass weed. Over here, they've got turnips. I think those are turnips, yeah. Globe turnip. So that's fun. So where's all the papers? Okay, well, moving on. This is peppers, and it's a little early for peppers in my opinion, or at least what I've been hearing. So I was kind of in disbelief, but this is definitely recent sweet bell pepper. I don't know how much they garden, like till, or obviously these are raised beds. I don't know how much they weed or do anything. This is spearmint. I'm trusting that because this definitely looks like spearmint. Yeah, I don't know. They have this cattle panel compost area, I guess you could say. It just looks like leaves, and it showed up after the end of last season, so I don't think there's any food scraps or anything in here, but I assume they're going to use this for mulch. I don't see anything in this bed. I think they're probably waiting for maybe cucumbers or melons of some kind. Over here, these are tomatoes for sure, but I didn't find any marking, so I don't know what kind of tomatoes really. There's a sign that says everyone's welcome, so I'm not trespassing, so don't worry about that. Also, if you've noticed, they have three rain barrels that are catching rainwater that you can use to water the garden, which I think is amazing. But this is the most fascinating part to me. This is strawberries. And I was in here last summer and I did not notice that these were strawberries. And I might have to find somebody that helps take care of this garden and see if I could take a cutting, because I'm having a really hard time germinating strawberries. But look, there's so many and they spread like crazy. And I just, if I could just take that one right there in the corner, just, can I have that? And then I'll never bother you, ask you for another cutting again. So yeah, this is amazing. Onion. Oh, you can't see it. Onion, bunching onion. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but it's pretty flipping awesome if you ask me. See, that's what an old tag looks like, that somebody, pepper green, California, but I think that's from last year. I don't think that's this year. I think it wiped off from last year. I don't know. This is very fascinating. I also don't have any, what did I say? I know it's a brassica, but cauliflower. That's right. I don't have any cauliflower for my garden. So yeah, this is the cutest little garden. And it's got chicken wire around the whole outside, except for the one little spot that you enter. And this is the sign that says everybody's welcome. So yeah, I think I'll include this in some updates every once in a while just to see. This gets full sun, 100%. This is in the middle of a field. There's no trees, no shade, nothing to protect this. This just gets all the elements all the time. So I'm a little worried about the peppers in that bed the next 3 or 4 days, I think, because they really only like heat. But look at those freaking strawberries, the tomatoes too, but I'm just fascinated with these strawberries. Okay, I should go home now. I should have some iris pretty soon. Tulips are looking nice. I have a question about my compost pile. Does anybody else compost? The compost that I put on my garden beds was not my compost, if that wasn't apparent already. So I'm gonna insert a clip here about my compost pile, and I have a question in the clip, so stay tuned. Here's my compost bin. It was here when I moved in. I'm not very good at remembering to empty the compost catcher from the kitchen, and it's really bad in there right now, so brace yourselves. There's some cantaloupe in there that started to mold, which made everything else mold. So I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. Somebody tell me in the comments. If something starts molding, are you not supposed to put it in the compost? Because I've been doing that, and that may be inadvertently killing whatever it is that needs to happen. So we're just gonna as you can see, the majority of our kitchen waste is potato peels. So I'm not sure. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments if I'm doing this wrong. And I guess that's it for today. Don't forget to comment and answer my questions if you have experience with compost or any of the other questions that I've asked during this video. Don't forget to leave a comment, and thanks for watching. You'll see me next time.